Zebu, woo. A zebu, Bos taurus indicus, sometimes known as indicine cattle or humped cattle, is a species or subspecies of domestic cattle originating in the Indian subcontinent. Zebu are characterized by a fatty hump on their shoulders, a large dewlap, and sometimes drooping ears. They are well adapted to withstanding high temperatures and are farmed throughout the tropical countries, both as pure zebu and as hybrids with taurine cattle, the other main type of domestic cattle. Zebu are used as draft and riding animals, dairy cattle, and beef cattle, as well as for byproducts such as hides and dung for fuel and manure. In 1999, researchers at Texas A&M University successfully cloned a zebu. Taxonomy and name. The scientific name of zebu cattle was originally Bos indicus, but they are now more commonly classified within the species Bos taurus as Bt. indicus, together with taurine cattle Bt. taurus and the extinct ancestor of both of them, the aurochs B. primigenius. Taurine European cattle are descended from the Eurasian aurochs, while zebu are descended from the Indian aurochs. Zebu may be either singular or plural, but zebus is also an acceptable plural form. The Spanish name Cebu or Cebu is also present in a few English works. Origin. Zebu cattle are thought to be derived from Indian aurochs, sometimes regarded as a subspecies, V.P. Pneumaticus. Wild Asian aurochs disappeared during the time of the Indus Valley Civilization from its range in the Indus River Basin and other parts of the South Asian region, possibly due to interbreeding with domestic zebu and resultant fra. Phylogenetic analysis revealed that all the zebu Y chromosome haplotypes groups are found in 3 different lineages. Archaeological evidence, including depictions on pottery and rocks, suggests that the species was present in Egypt around 2000 BC and thought to be imported from the Near East or South. Bos indicus is believed to have first appeared in sub-Saharan Africa between 700 and 1500 and was introduced to the Horn of Africa around 1000. Breeds and hybrids. Some 75 breeds of zebu are known, split about evenly between African breeds and Indian ones. The major zebu cattle breeds of the world include Ja, Cancrej and Guzarat, Indo-Brazilian, Brahman, Sibai Bagnari, White Nakara Akai, Kalistani, Dani, Lohani, Nellore, Ongol, Sahual, Red Sindhi, Butana and Kanana, Bagara, Tharparkar, Kangame Southern Yellow, Kedakelantan and local Indian Dairy Alidi. Kedakelantan and Alidi originated from Malaysia. Other breeds of zebu are quite local, like the Haryana of Haryana and eastern Punjab or the Rath of Ulwar in eastern Rajasthan. From the 1960s onwards, Nellore, which is an off-breed of Ongol cattle, became the primary breed of cattle in Brazil because of its hardiness, heat resistance, and because it thrives on poor quality forage and breeds easily, with the calves rarely requiring human intervention to survive. Currently, more than 80% of beef cattle in Brazil, approximately 167 million animals, are either purebred or hybrid Ongol cattle, which is originated from Ongol region of Andhra Pradesh. The African Sangha cattle breeds originated from hybridization of zebu with indigenous African humpless cattle. They include the Afrikaner, red Filani, Enkel Watusi Boran, and many other breeds of Central and Southern Africa. Sangha cattle can be distinguished from pure zebu by their having smaller humps located farther forward on the animals. Zebu were imported to Africa over many hundreds of years and interbred with taurine cattle there. Genetic analysis of African cattle has found higher concentrations of zebu genes all along the east coast of Africa, with especially pure cattle on the island of Madagascar, either implying that the method of dispersal was cattle transported by ship or alternatively, the zebu may have reached East Africa via the coastal route Pakistan, Iran, southern Arabian coast much earlier. Partial resistance to rinderpest led to another increase in the frequency of zebu in Africa. Zebu, which can tolerate extreme heat, were imported into Brazil in the early 20th century. Their importation marked a change in cattle ranching in Brazil, where feral cattle had grazed freely on extensive pasturage and bred without animal husbandry. Zebu were considered ecological since they could graze on natural grasses, and their meat was lean and without chemical residues. In the early 20th century in Brazil, Zebu were crossbred with Charolais cattle, a European taurine breed. The resulting breed, 63% Charolais and 37% Zebu, is called the Canchim. It has a better meat quality than the Zebu and better heat resistance than European cattle. The Zebu breeds used were primarily Indo-Brazilian with some Nilor and Guzarat. Another Charolais crossbreed with Brahmins is called Australian Charbray and is recognized as a breed in some countries. Many breeds are complex mixtures of the Zebu and various taurine types, and some also have yak, Gor, or Banteng genes. Zebu are very common in much of Asia, including China, Pakistan, India, Nepal, Bangladesh, and almost all countries in Southeast Asia. In Asia, taurine cattle are only found in the northern regions such as Japan, Korea, and Mongolia, possibly domesticated separately from the other taurine cattle originating from Europe and Africa. Other species of cattle domesticated in parts of Asia include yak, Gor banteng, and water buffalo. Characteristics: Zebu have humps on the shoulders, large dewlaps, and droopy ears. Compared to taurine cattle, Zebus are well adapted to the hot, dry environment of the tropics. Adaptations include resistance to drought and tolerance of intense heat and sunlight. As expected for a non-African breed, Zebu do not appear to have any trypanotolerance, as evidenced by the pattern of Zebu introgression into African cattle. There is a decrease up to in rapid and at tsetse-infested areas. Reproduction: Zebu are generally mature enough to begin reproducing around 44 months old. This is based on the development of their bodies to withstand the strain of carrying and lactation. Early reproduction can place too much stress on the body and possibly shorten lifespans. Carrying time of the calf averages at 285 days, but varies depending on the age and nutrition of the mother. The sex of the calf may also affect the carrying time, as male calves are carried for a longer period than females. Location, breed, body weight, and season affect the overall health of the animal, and in return may also affect the carrying period. Uses: Zebu are used as draft and riding animals, dairy cattle, as well as for byproducts such as hides, dung for fuel and manure, and horn for knife handles and the like. Zebu, mostly miniature zebu, are kept as pets. E.t. Indicus cows commonly have low production of milk. They do not produce milk until maturation later in their lives and do not produce much. When Bt. indicus is crossed with Bt. taurus, production generally increases.